If it's Wednesday, that means it's the MX-5 on 5 Spring Shootout Series from the Slingshot Racing League. Welcome, everybody. My name is Evan Pienta, and I'm joined in the booth by my partner, Johnny Rapp. Tonight, we welcome you to the tri-shaped oval of Concord Speedway. Concord Speedway, located in Concord, North Carolina, has a rich history steeped in motorsports. Originally opened in 1982 as a dirt track, it underwent significant renovations in 1986, transforming it into a high-banked half-mile asphalt oval. Over the years, it became a prominent venue for various racing events, including NASCAR-sanctioned races and grassroots competitions. The track's challenging layout and thrilling races have attracted drivers and fans alike, contributing to its legacy in the motorsports community as a hub for speed and excitement. Unfortunately, the track closed its doors in 2019 and was demolished shortly after, leaving a lasting legacy virtually for drivers around the world to still enjoy. So, Johnny, looking at this ahead to the unique shape of Concord Speedway, how well do you think the drivers will be able to create runs and pass tonight?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very unique situation, right? I don't know, these cars seem to be very loose. They're turning very loose, and man, I don't know. You might be able to back up the entry and kind of get the run down the hill on throttle, but man, I don't know. I feel like just protecting that bottom is probably the best way to go. Hope the guy ahead of you makes a mistake.
Absolutely, and I think from what we saw in practice a little bit too, those mentioning those mistakes, one thing we've noticed here is under braking, very important to be consistent, holding the wheel straight when you slam on the brakes, because we see guys in practice go into the corner, turn in while they're applying brakes, and it just kind of spins the car around and gets them quite loose. So I think that's going to be another big factor to look at.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be all about keeping the car under you and yeah, not pushing it too hard. Uh, as we move on to our key stories of the race here, let me hang on. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so we already talked about it. There's loose conditions, right? I mean, it's very very slick out there. The setup is loose on purpose because baseline setup was very tight. So we had to make some changes on that. And one thing to note is that the drivers will have a fast repair tonight, just because of the loose conditions and short track. We don't want anybody to miss out on some racing just because of one mistake here tonight. So we went ahead and added one. But yeah, and then the tire wear, right? So how do you think? With it being so loose and take care of that rear tire, you think that's going to come into play? Or
I think for sure, and then we mentioned it again, the getting loose. Seems like just from running a couple laps I did, you can kind of the car feels loose 100% of the time throughout the corners. So I think once these guys are getting it packed and trying to amp it up a little bit more, they're going to get more loose, and those right side tires are going to definitely feel the wear.
yeah, for sure. And I mean, that brings us to the last story here is just the constant turning. You don't get a break here. You're constantly going around. It's a very short track, very unique layout, and yeah, I mean that's going to be kind of like a stamina thing, right? Like you don't have a moment to catch your breath, right? Like constantly getting after it, and you know, you might make a move in one corner. By the time you get to the next one, you're still in the middle of that last move, and I don't know. It's going to make for some very interesting racing. As we see, the grid is starting here, so let's go ahead and get started with that.
Absolutely. So as we pull up our starting lineup on the pole with the Evan Pienta Designs Pole Award once again, the number 70 of Aaron Smith is on the pole with his placeholder racing teammate of Scotty Sobzek in the 81 to his outside. Inside row 2 is the 00 of Nick DeCesare, and to his outside his teammate Matt Kuntz in the 13. In row 3, rounding out your top 5 is the 88 of James Danforth, and to the outside of him, Brady Powers in the 22.
Absolutely. Moving on back to 7th place, we have Dale Mickelson in the 333, and outside of him in the 111 is Gabe Rogers. Followed by Steve Vest in 9th. I feel like this may be messed up a little bit, but and our lovely broadcaster Evan Pienta starting outside in the Ghost car.
Might be blown motor here. Might not be able to start tonight.
Yeah, and then rounding out the field, we have Derek Fouquet. Yeah, so I guess really he's starting 10th, but he'll be on the inside. I don't know. So I think somebody may have made a mistake there joining the session, but hey, it's no big deal.
Yeah, trigger happy here, guys. It's okay. Had to get some real-time laps with the drivers. So, what other place can you do that? But
a man of the people, if I
exactly.
don't say so myself,
So this is not going to be a standing start because we see the pace truck on the front stretch.
Yeah, but it sounds like it's about to be. They're all
I
revving their
know.
cars to the moon here, but maybe they're just trying to burn off some fuel, right? Lighten the load a little bit.
Maybe they're just giddy to go. I think it's going to be unique here for sure. The one thing I think you got to notice about this track is it's short, but it is very, very, very wide. It allows you to kind of sweep through these corners, and especially that kink kind of on the backstretch that kind of splits it up into the 3 straightaways that make up Concord. But overall, I think, it's just going to be about patience, just making sure you're not making any mistakes under braking, taking it easy. Excited to see how Scotty will be able to challenge Aaron on that front row, and maybe we'll see somebody like Brady Powers once again storm through the field and get up to the front and challenge for the lead.
Yeah, for sure. The notable entry that's missing this week is Justin Wilson and Chase Berry, but yeah, I mean, Justin's been very busy at work, and I'm sure he would be up there contending for this thing too. But
absolutely, we know Chase's frustrations with the Mazda, but pace truck is off, green flag is out, and we are racing here at Concord for round 4 of the MX-5 on 5 Spring Shootout Series.
Absolutely. As you see, I mean, very tame start. Aaron's off to a pretty sizable lead for lap 1. Oh, and we have car sideways.
Matt Kuntz around. Somebody else is in the wall.
Yeah, it sounds like
Steve Vest hard to the outside wall. Paul Thomas around. Paul Thomas with heavy front end damage. I believe Derek Fike. Paul Thomas is... I don't know if he's going to be able to tow it back. Trouble for our last time we ran an oval. Paul was very good here. Oh no! So it looked like Nick DeCesare just, like what we mentioned, just got a little bit in too deep into the corner and tapped the brakes while he was turning. Got it sideways. Good job by James Danforth behind him to avoid it. Steve Vest makes a daring move to swerve to the outside to not hit Nick DeCesare, hits the wall pretty hard and comes back down, and Paul is right there with nowhere really to go.
Yeah, they
And
just ran out of room. Yeah, I mean, early on we already said that these things are loose, and hey, at least they all have a faster pair, right? They can kind of regroup and
yeah, the only thing I'd say is that Paul and Steve Vest. Well, Steve Vest might be able to continue. He's not going to go a lap down, but Paul was unable to get the car going around the track, and he had to tow. So, I believe Paul Thomas is going to be going a lap down. I believe he would be the only car a lap down, though. So, in the event we do get a caution, he can get some lucky dog and get back on the lead lap. But
yeah, certainly not out of it yet, right? I mean, that's
for sure.
yeah, it's a good call adding that in there. But yeah, I mean, man, like I said, we had talked about it, the loose conditions, and I think that's just early on in the race here, trying to get maybe a little too much off the rip, and hopefully these guys can kind of settle in and find out exactly where they want to position their cars, and then
Exactly.
try to make a late charge at the end, right?
Yep. I think it's just about getting settled in here and taking it easy. And I think a lot of drivers took notice of Nick DeCesare's unfortunate mistake, but realize that we can take it easy here. Do want to mention somebody, Dale Mickelson in that triple three is up in the 6th spot. He qualified in 7th and is up to the spot from Nick DeCesare's incident, but I know we've seen him kind of around the back getting some bad luck at the road courses, and had some bad luck at at Dover, I believe, was involved in that early wreck. So seeing him up front is a good thing to see out of that driver in the 3rd triple three. As the pace car is off. Once again, we'll get restarted here on lap 7. Aaron Smith controls the restart. He is throttled down, and he's accelerating. Big jump on from the inside from Scotty Sobczak. He'll pull away 2-3 car lengths. He tried to bring James Danforth to the outside with him. James is up to 3rd, trying to make a move on that outside of Matt Kuntz.
Yeah, I mean, I would be very careful on the top, as literally
James
what I was
Danforth
about to say just happened. Yeah.
James Danforth brushed the wall. I don't think it's major damage, but we saw what happened last week with Aaron and Justin. Barely any contact dooring really messed up the toe on these MX-5. So hitting a concrete wall like you do here could make it even worse. But he's able to recover, get down into 5th behind Brady Powers. And so it's just kind of all single file right now. Just trying to get into a rhythm and knock off some laps here, as it is 100 laps here at Concord. So 10th of the way through the books here, just about, and just about getting settled in.
Yeah, so that's a good point to make. What I was about to say is, if you get up in the marbles, you get a little too high, and this thing goes from super loose to super tight. And that's exactly what you saw with Danforth there, was just getting up too high and trying to throttle out of it, and it's not going to turn. At that point, you need to sort of concede and, gather your car back up and try it again the next corner, But that's one thing with the restarts. So once they're single filed out, I don't think we'll see too much of that. But starting up high, got to be careful.
Yeah, for sure. And Aaron Smith gets a little high there. He ran up wide. That brings up Scotty Sobczak right to his bumper. They're side by side for the lead. Placeholder Racing teammates still side by side. Matt Kuntz is right on their bumper, and it's allowing Brady Powers in 4th to come up into the lead battle.
Yeah, we're starting to see a little bit of that pack racing that we're used to seeing in this series.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I figured for this oval that might be a little more spread out, but hey, I mean, they're proving me wrong right now.
Gets single file back out. Scotty falls in behind Aaron, but they're much closer this time. As we have another caution, I believe there's a wreck on the front stretch. Yes, it was Gabe Rogers in the 111. back here.
Let's see. He was racing with is
Nick
that Nick?
Cesare.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, barely a little bit of contact with Nick Cesare, but he just got it loose on his own and sideways into turn 3. That seems to be the trouble spot here. Even if you get up high, you get up into the wall. Enter too fast into the corner, get a little bit sideways. But both drivers are able to save it for the most part. A little bit of right or left front damage on the 111 for Gabe Rogers, but he
Oh,
should be
as
able to
we see,
continue.
Aaron Smith is pitting.
Aaron Smith down pit road
Yeah, Aaron
and Brady
looks like,
Powers.
yeah, maybe they know something that we don't, but man, maybe the tire wear is coming into play, right? Maybe come in, get some fresh tires, and try to run it out, and maybe it'll have something at
Well,
the end. I don't know.
I don't know. Here at SRL, we got unlimited resources here, and we got a couple thousand tire trucks that can go in through that little turn 2 tunnel. So all these drivers have unlimited sets of tires, so they're gonna take as many as they can whenever they want. Not really worried about wear on tires or trying to save a little bit. Just anytime a caution comes out, you can go get tires and not have to worry about a limit.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point, right? I mean, hey, why not, right? We're, you know, only not even 20 laps into it, right? Like, plenty of time to work your way back up through the field and yeah, come in and get them and try it out. But
For
that
sure, and I believe
does hand the lead over to Scotty Sopsack.
Scotty Sazek is your leader. Nick DeCesare also came down pit road, I believe, just to repair a little bit of damage and take tires as well. And we do want to mention that Gabe Rogers was also given the EOL penalty at fault for the last caution. But
Yeah, so it looks like Scotty's taking the outside here too, and I mean that point I made earlier that you know, it gets a little tight up there. I don't know if I would do that. We've seen Aaron do it once, and now Scotty do it. I mean, I know you get a pretty good jump being the leader, but I would be afraid that the guy on the inside gets a good jump, and then I'm stuck out there in the marbles, right? But we'll see how he
absolutely,
does.
I think what Scotty did see on that last restart, being the victim of the jump on that inside, I think he realizes that the leader here, you can accelerate. And we are green flag racing here. Scotty gets the big jump, like I mentioned, into turn 1. Past Matt Kuntz there, as James Danford looks to make a move into second. Charge to the inside. He is on the bumper of Matt Kuntz with Dale Mickelson, like I mentioned earlier. He's up there in the 4th position, having a good run, with Aaron Smith right behind already on those fresh tires. Brady Powers just behind them. So it looks like the top 4 have not pitted. We're the only ones to not pit. Because they're kind of clipping the apron there. Ooh, James Danforth into the wall. Drifted a little bit too much up and brushed that outside wall. I believe Dale Mickelson did so as well. As Aaron got past Dale Mickelson and is hunting down the Napa machine of James Danforth.
Yeah, Aaron's wasting no time getting back through the field here. And I don't know, I'd say he'll probably get up to Scott within maybe 5 to 10 laps there, but I don't know. Yeah, it's one thing to catch him, but another thing to pass him, so we'll
For
see how
sure,
it goes. Here we go. We got a battle with it's that Powers and Derek. Yeah.
Derek VK,
Powers gets the apron a little bit.
Powers gets by Mickelson. as Aaron hounds up front for second on Matt Kuntz. Matt keeps clipping that inside apron in 1 and 2. It kind of just gets his car a little bit unsettled. That's what James did. He kind of carried a little too much speed as Matt Kuntz a little bit sideways through the final corner. Was able to save it there. Got up in the marbles like you mentioned before, Johnny. Able to save it, but allowed James Danforth to reel him in. And now it's a 2-car battle for that 3rd place position as Nick DeCesare is getting by Dale Mickelson back there, I believe, for the 6th place position.
Absolutely, yeah. It seems like the close battle we got right now is for that 3rd place, right? Matt Kuntz and Danforth, and yeah, I think at this point in the race, right, you got a little separation. Everybody, like if I was out there, this is when you want to just ride, click off laps, right? You don't want somebody to make a mistake. You kind of just want to get a feel for the car a little bit, get a feel for the guys that are driving around, and plan your escape route, you know, like for the end of the race, like see where everybody else is messing up and where you can gain time. But
it's a pretty even battle here there's a pretty even gap between the 3rd and 4th position and the battle for the lead between the 2 placeholder racing teammates. We've mentioned it before. Scotty Sabzek has been a driver we expected to be one of the ones up front battling for this championship, and just through the first 3 rounds has had not the best luck at all. Got spun at Watkins Glen.
I don't know if he's finished the race with all the body parts left on that car, but
yeah, I don't think the front end of that car has made it past the checkered line, start finish line. So
no, and yeah, I mean we definitely didn't expect that, right? I mean, he's obviously had some bad luck, but I mean, he still managed to pull out some good finishes. Even last week, he would have had a good finish, but he had a course cutting penalty in the last turn, right? He went out in the grass, but
he was going for it. I'll give him that. So I love the effort from Scotty. Just hasn't been able to get the luck here to close out any of these races in the position he'd like to. But he's in the position 2 now as they're coming up on the lap car of almost contact there. Scotty had to check up. Aaron's going to take advantage of it, go to the outside into turn 3 and 4. He's up in those marbles. Scotty's going to push him out wide. They're still side by side at the line. Aaron leads that lap. As it's a gaggle of cars back here between James Danforth, Matt Kuntz, and Brady Powers.
Yeah, Aaron Smith clears him for the lead, right? Man, he ain't kidding. That is a gaggle back there. But
Aaron got by Scotty. It's just a matter of Scotty can stay up with Aaron. But back here. Oh, is somebody sound like got in the wall? I believe that might have been Scotty Sabzak. Yep, Scotty Sabzak brushed the wall.
Let's take a look at its car, the right side. Still looks pretty good. I think he's good to go, right? You know, hey, no harm, no foul. Just keep it rolling.
Front bumper's still on that thing.
Yeah. Not how we're used to seeing it, but hey, it's a good thing tonight.
We continue to look at the 4-car battle here for that final podium position. James Danforth currently holds it with Matt Kuntz behind, Brady Powers rounding out your top 5 with Nick DeCesare having those early accidents and taking those tires, trying to make a charge. He definitely seems to have a much faster car than Brady Powers and a couple of these other guys in front as there's smoke on track. I'm not sure who that was from. I believe that was Aaron, as there's a bad change for the lead. Scotty's got back by Aaron Smith. If we just take a look.
Yeah, let's
Aaron
see if,
just got sideways.
Pulled a replay up here, yeah.
Just clipped the apron too much, got sideways, was able to save it, but lost a lot of momentum as Scotty's able to get by and is back in the lead.
Oh. Man, it looked like he pulled the handbrake gun into turn 1 there.
think he just clipped the apron wrong. Car bottomed out and got a little bit sideways, and then at that point it's just about slowing the car down, making sure you don't fully loop it. And as a result, Scotty got by, and Aaron's back on the hunt.
Yeah, I mean, this could be, I mean, another epic battle of, two guys that we know are pretty good in the slingshot racing league, right? You got Aaron, you got Scotty. Last week it was Aaron and Justin. And, yeah, I mean, with that mistake, that's definitely the vibe I'm starting to get, 'cause that's what we saw last week. One would make a mistake, the other one would get by him, then the other one would make a mistake. And
Absolutely, as Aaron's already reeled Scotty back in.
Yeah, he's there for sure, but
it's just a matter of Scotty's been the one making less mistakes, and Aaron's been the one that's been hunting down and then trying to pull away, push the gap, and that's where his mistakes are made.
yeah, I mean, I was sort of paying attention in the practice too, but like we all know Aaron's fast, but he was definitely getting pretty loose in this setup, and yeah, I mean that's probably a little bit of what you saw there, and hey, could happen more, but I think he'll adapt to it, right? He's still probably getting used to it, and once he figures it out, it could be lights out, but hey, we'll see.
Absolutely. So they're coming up on a few lap cars here. Steve Vest, very slow. Whoa, Scotty goes to the outside of Steve Vest. He holds him up. Aaron Smith with a big gap. Steve Vest just went a little bit too high, and Scotty did not know anticipates where Steve Vest was going to go. And that pulls about a half a straightaway for Aaron Smith for the lead on Scotty Sobczak.
Yeah, I want to see that from Scott's point of view here on board with him. Just, well, we're with Aaron, but yeah, that just, man, it seemed like sort of a late move.
Will that be a wreck here? Steve Vest is stopped backwards on the front stretch, and there's the yellow. Steve Vest was stopped on the front stretch around. Oh!
Let's see what happened here. Oh yeah, he was just trying to get out of the way. It looks like they were 3 wide and made a little contact. Got pushed
just
up
kind
in
of
the
beating the sandwich
in the nick, and very unfortunate.
Well, Nick got up in those marbles 2 and 3 and 4. I guess I'd call it turn 3 here, being like a mini Pocono. And just got in those marbles and was drifting up into the wall and just had to turn down as much as to avoid hitting that outside wall. And just happened to have Steve Vest there.
Hey, I'll tell you what, pit road is busy right now. It looks like,
for sure.
If I am live here, yeah, we have
got everybody down pit road.
Yeah.
Paul Thomas, the only one. Paul Thomas is coming down pit road now. I believe he got the free pass there. He is coming down pit road now, though. Aaron Smith wins the battle off pit road. Matt Kuntz second. James Danforth third. Nick DeCesare fourth. Scotty Sobczak out fifth. I don't know if he took fuel or took 4 tires instead of just right sides. Brady Powers barely beats out the pace car. It looks like Dale Mickelson and Derek Fike will not beat the pace car, and they'll be a lap down, unfortunately. As well as, I believe, the 111 of Gabe Rogers and Steve Vest, we mentioned, had the incident on the front stretch.
Aaron Smith coming back in. I wonder if did he have a penalty, or is he playing it so he didn't go a lap down? He could only maybe take 2 tires at a time.
Maybe he's playing that game, I think he could have made it, but we'll see here if he takes some more tires. They got a limited set, so maybe he just wanted to burn a set, give him a little scuffed up, and
he's taking left sides now. I bet he took rights on the first pit stop and lefts this time. That's what we're seeing.
Yeah,
and these cars are a little bit unique compared to like your normal NASCAR or oval type, where you can pick specifically what tire you want to change. You can change just the right front, just the left rear. You know, so that definitely puts it a little more in the driver's hands as far as pit
Is Aaron
strategy goes. But
absolutely is Aaron's swerving, trying to get those tires hot? As I believe Matt Kuntz is our leader. He takes the outside on this restart. James Danforth restarts second on the front row with Nick DeCesare and Scotty Sobzak in row 2, Brady Powers, Aaron Smith row 3, Derek Fike, Paul Thomas row 4, and pace truck is off. We're getting back going green here.
Green flag, green flag.
Matt Kuntz accelerates. Not the best jump.
Good start by
Oh, as Derek Dale Mickelson almost sent it up into Brady Powers there into turn 1. I thought that was going to be an accident. As they're going to go 3 wide here into turn 3. Oh, that could have been real bad.
What was that? It looked like somebody had shot to the bottom there.
That was Brady Powers going 3 wide as Steve Vest is here. Steve Vest gets clobbered by Matt Kuntz. Check up.
Oh, no, Brady
Powers gets spun around. We're going green still. Brady Powers has no rear deck lid. His trunk's on the ground, on the track. Dale Mickelson down pit road. I don't know if he had a penalty or what. That restart was very chaotic, Yeah, unfortunately, Matt Kuntz got caught up in that. Spreads the field out a little bit as Paul Thomas comes down pit road. As Steve Vest I believe, wanted to come down pit road. Was stopped temporarily on the backstretch. Leaders are coming back up on Steve Vest. So James Danforth logging laps in the lead here.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of been lurking the whole race, right? Obviously, the pit strategy is put him up front, but hey, clean air. Maybe he can make something happen with it, right?
For sure. As they come up on the lap car, Steve Vest again. Steve stays to the very inside on the front stretch. As a yellow flag has come out. I believe Steve Vest just stopped on track and had some damage. He might have just towed it, but parked it on the front stretch, and I believe that just triggered the race controls caution to come out. And
yeah, I think he may have been tired of letting everybody go, right? It seemed he was trying his best, to give everybody the lane and everything. It wasn't working, and
yep,
yeah, it looks like he just stopped, and that's
unfortunate end to the day for Steve Vest, I believe that is. As Aaron Smith stays out on track, there's a few cars. That is going to keep a lot of these guys that were a lap down, trapped a lap down, unfortunately. Rest of the top 5, though, comes in for pit for tires. Brady Powers, comes in to get his damage fixed and get a new deck lid on that Rexy-inspired number 22. But James Danforth taking all 4 tires. Derek Fike is your lucky dog, getting the free pass. Nick DeCesare is still on pit road. He gets out before the pace truck comes by, so all these guys will stay on the lead lap. But
yeah, I mean, man, they keep taking these tires. It makes me think that they're worth something, right? So maybe we'll see it make a difference for Sobzak.
Matt Kuntz, big dive down pit road. Matt Kuntz comes down. I don't know what if he's coming down again. I think he's doing the strategy Aaron did last pit and took right sides last time, and he'll take left sides this time. But
yeah, just afraid of going down a lap under caution, right? That's the worst way to lose a lap. Like you're just sitting there waiting, like, drop the car, and there goes the pace car. But
you kind of feel about as useless as a sock puppet,
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
but yeah. So as I believe that is Dale Mickelson having to let the field by. And I think Matt Kuntz will be able to get by all these guys, the lap cars and Derek Fike.
Yeah,
Steve
so
Vest is coming back out on track.
well, that's good, man. I didn't want to see him just give up like that, right? Maybe he had something going on, but yeah, here we go. We're about to take the green again with just over 30 laps to go, and
Pace truck is off. Placeholder Racing teammates once again on the front row. Aaron Smith to the outside. Green flag. He'll accelerate. Big gap here. He'll pull 2 car lengths into turn 1 on Scotty Sobczak. Scotty Sobczak gets back to the inside. Brady Powers looking to the outside of Scotty Sobczak for that second place position. James Danforth behind, trying to make the charge to the inside with a battle between the two teammates of Matt Kuntz and Nick DeCesare. Or that's not Nick DeCesare, excuse me. That is Dale Mickelson. As Aaron Smith pulls away, Dale Mickelson, I believe, clobbered the. Whoa! Dale
oh no,
Mickelson around. Oh, backs it into the pit wall. Dale Mickelson had a great run going. We had mentioned him earlier. And I believe he's actually stuck on the banking now. That's the one thing we saw last week with Brady Powers. There's the little banking here from the
nah,
apron to the racing surface.
his rear end's broke. His left wheel ain't spinning.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
he
gonna
did
have to tow.
clobber
That
that pretty...
wasn't that big of a hit, but hey, I mean these things are fragile, right? Look at this. We got we got the towing service coming down, trying to get them going, but
we got Gabe Rogers.
yeah.
Hey, triple-digit numbers trying to help each other out. They stick together.
I'll tell you what. Maybe
Temp
next
work.
week we need to get maybe an Evan Pienta Designs towing service paint job for him. Right?
We might have to get that. We might have to get that set up. But Gabe Rogers, trying to be the saving grace for Dale Mickelson. It's unfortunate for Dale. He's been had some bad luck along with Scotty this season. We had some bad luck at Watkins Glen in the opening race. Like we said, got involved in that early wreck at Dover. Had some bad luck. Just had not a very good time at New Hampshire, and was having a good run here actually, running in the top 5, top 6, and just a simple mistake, clobbered the wall a little bit off of 2, and just got the car a little bit sideways and had to slide it, and
I'll tell you what, if that wall wasn't there, he would have been fine. Right?
Absolutely, yeah. I think he got him a little upset, and just couldn't hold on to it, and pit wall wasn't there, he would have been fine too.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what I meant, but yeah. So hey, we're re-racking them again. We're getting near the end of this thing, man. I don't know. Do you think the the intensity keeps going up, or do you think these guys are going to say, "Hey, we've had enough of these cautions. Let's kind of settle it down a little bit"?
Well, we're nearing towards the last quarter of this race, and I think we'll be going green on lap 75 here. So I think it's time to get amped up. I know it's probably been amped up with the amount of caution we've seen, but last 25, I think guys like Brady Powers, you've seen kind of fade back a little bit. They've charged to the front, kind of emerge and see what they can do, and if they can put up a fight against the banana machine of Aaron Smith. As pace truck, excuse me, I keep getting that messed up, is off through turns 3 and 4. Aaron took the inside this time. Green flag, he'll accelerate. Not as big of a jump as he got on the outside. Scotty's going to look to try and tuck into the inside. Brady Powers is still there. Brady Powers to the inside of Scotty Sobczak for second. Into the turn 3, I'll call it.
Yeah,
Scotty and James. Oh, James.
Oh
no, Nick
Man,
DeCesare.
massive
James.
wrecker. Man, and that's probably going to be Nick's. He already had his fast pair, right? So that might put him out for a little while there. But
Just
Let's go back, see if
that was
maybe.
heavy contact there for Nick as well. James just got up high. He did it early in the race and just tried checking up. And we talked about not hitting the brakes while you're turning, and the only way you can slow down in the corner is hitting the brakes, and you're turning. And just got sideways off the corner, and Nick DeCesare was just unlucky situation. But I don't think James got actually that much damage after all. Way to keep it out of the wall up until the very end and just barely tapped it. So
He
I don't
almost
think
had
he'll
it
be
saved. Yeah.
absolutely. I think he'll be okay here. I'm wondering if drivers are going to pit under this caution or if they're going to stay out. If it's like we said that late, Paul Thomas comes down pit road. Steve Vest, James Danforth will be down pit road. He has the EOL, so we'll start in the back. Might as well take tires. Nick DeCesare down pit road. I believe his night is over, unfortunately. Like you said, he used his fast repair. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's going
but
a lap time
well,
here.
Sobzak proved it. Well, every race this season that hey, even though you're missing some body panels, right, you might be able to still get get a decent finish out of it, right? But
For
let's
sure.
see, maybe how how the front of his car looks, right? Yeah, I mean it's mangled, but I don't know. I think once it gets its required done, he might be able to get back out there and maybe get a couple laps back if they have a few more cautions. But
For sure. There is no car one lap down. Gabe Rogers in 7th place is the first car any laps down and is 2 laps down. So Gabe can get a lucky dog here on the next caution if we do have one. Be 1 lap down and could get back on the lead lap after another lucky dog. And we'll have a shot back at the lead. We've seen him up front this race. Driver we haven't really talked about, but is sneakily in the top 5 is that 89 of Derek Fike. We talked to him last week at New Hampshire, and he said he was going to practice a lot for this race. And we know he's mentioned that he had some fans watching and avoided most of the carnage tonight so far, and has found himself in the top 5 and look to gain 4 more spots and take home
yeah,
a
I
victory,
mean,
possibly.
yeah. If we get him in the booth again, hopefully he's not in the middle of his midnight snack like last time, right? But
For sure. Drivers get hungry post race, so
yeah,
pace truck is off. Brady Powers and Aaron Smith on the front row. Aaron Smith with a big jump once again. His teammate behind him, they're lined up nose to tail. Brady Powers trying to fight back on that outside line with Scotty Sobzak. Door to door through the backstretch into the final corner. Scotty's going to try and look to clear Brady Powers. Scotty gets high, almost into the wall. Brady Powers going to perform the crossover into turn 1 to the inside. This is allowing Aaron Smith to break away and kind of check out with the lead. They're still side-by-side battling for that second place position, as it's now a 3-car battle with Matt Kuntz involved. Brady Powers almost gets into the side of Scotty Sobzak. He might actually make contact. Both drivers save it.
yeah. This is this is what you want to see here. These guys are going at it for second place here.
For sure. Scotty's trapped on that outside line, can't do much. Oh my, Matt Kuntz. Hard in the outside wall into Derek Fike. Oh my gosh.
Golly, man, dear. That was just another case. We've seen it so many times with these Mazdas, man. You get a little sideways, and it's so hard to correct it. Just overcorrect it right in the derrick, and get a car
Defense
behind
just
it.
had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
I think it looked like Matt Kuntz just barely clipped the apron into turn 1, and like what we saw with Dale Mickelson on the backstretch and a little bit of James Danforth off of the final corner. Just couldn't hold it and overcorrected into Derek Fike. Commentators cursed before that last caution. I mentioned Derek and how good of a job he had done.
It's about time you had one of them, right? I mean, it seems like it's normally me. I'll talk about somebody and then they'll wreck or something will happen. But
Yeah, but
sorry,
I think
Chase Perry, right? But
Chase Berry, yeah, Chase
yeah,
Berry's been the victim of the commentator's curse. But I think Gabe Rogers will get the free pass here. Derek Fike, I believe, took his fast repair, or he's still got damage here. Let me take a look. Yeah, Derek Fike still got his damage. He's going to come down and take his fast repair, I believe, if he still has it. Matt Kuntz had to tow with the severe front end damage. Steve Vest, I believe, has taken his fast repair, so Steve Vest on pit road as well as towing. The two teammates, Matt Kuntz and Nick DeCesare, were running inside the top 5, but then these last 2 cautions have been the victim of an incident and are on pit road repairing damage.
yeah. I mean,
Derek Fike, is he going to beat him out? Derek Fike will beat out the pace truck. And maintain the lead lap status he has.
Yeah. It. Yeah, as we see, looks like we're going to come to the line for 1 to green right now. Then, man, we're going to have, what, 10 to go, and it's going to get real interesting.
For sure. You know, coming down to the wire, we already saw it ramped up within the last 25, but as we look here, Aaron Smith, Brady Powers, Scotty Sobczak, James Danforth, and Derek Fike, your top 5 all on the lead lap. Gabe Rogers got his 1 lap back. He's on pit road here taking his tires. He is only 1 lap down, so 1 more lap he's back on the lead lap. As we are green flag racing. Scotty Sobczak and Aaron Smith bumper to bumper there. Kind of a weird restart. It was kind of tandeming as James Danforth and Brady Powers from the outside tried to slide in behind the 2 placeholder racing teammates.
Yeah, it almost looked as if Brady got a little loose there. Like maybe he had some wheel spin. I don't imagine that in these things, but hey.
I don't think that would be the case, but James almost took out Brady Powers there. Got really sideways and almost overcorrected into the back bumper of Brady. Down the backstretch though, Scotty is holding tough with Aaron, not letting him get away. As coming around with 7 laps to go here in this race.
The battle is on for sure.
Yeah, we got 2 battles. We got the battle for the lead between 2 placeholder racing teammates, like I've said. And you got the battle between Brady Powers and James Danforth for the final podium spot.
We hear a little wall contact back there. It might have been Derek or James, I think.
I believe it was James Danforth in the 88. It's come around with 5 laps to go here in this race. Scotty trying everything he can to try and get to the inside or make a pass on Aaron Smith. James as well, trying to make a pass on Brady Powers for that 3rd place position.
Oh, and he sends it in. James.
Oh, James Danforth.
Oh, they're wrecking for 3rd. Hey.
No caution.
Yeah, they kept
We're green flag racing. Derek Fike now up to 3rd. James Danforth and Brady Powers taking each other out for the final podium spot. To come around with 3 laps to go for Aaron Smith. The gap between him and Scotty has grown to about 3 car lengths now.
Yeah, he's going to need a mistake from Aaron to.
They're coming up on the lap car of Steve Vest as well, so this could get really interesting.
Scotty is just drifting that thing right there. I don't know if you saw that, but
I wasn't seeing it, but they get by. Oh, Scotty's almost in the wall. As they're coming around to get the white flag this time by Aaron Smith, Scotty Sobczak. Can Scotty pull anything off on this final half mile of racing? White flag in the air for Aaron Smith. Scotty trying to push as hard as he can through turn 1. Out to the wall. He clobbers the wall. Scotty Sobczak into the wall. Aaron Smith, as long as he doesn't make a mistake here in turns 3 and 4. Coming off of the final corner, Aaron Smith gets his 3rd win of the season here at Concord. Scotty Sobczak wrecks across the line in 2nd. And Derek Fike, for the 2nd time in a row this season, comes home in the 3rd place position at an oval. We heard him talk about it last week. Was not very excited about this race, but he comes out. One mistake or one incident at the very end, other than that, was scot-free. He rounds out your podium.
Yeah, I mean that was a great recovery. I guess he had still had his fast repair, and yeah, he took it, didn't go a lap down, and got himself on the podium. So yeah, shout out to him.
For sure, and let me try and get him here. Alright, let's see here. He is in the waiting room, so we can pull in our 3rd place finisher of Derek Fike. Derek Fike, this is Evan Pienta and Johnny Ramp up in the booth. You got a copy?
Evan, Johnny, I gotcha.
Well, Derek, you know, we talked to you last week. We'd hope to talk to you again this week. We are doing so. We, from the start of the race, we saw a lot of cautions, a lot of carnage, but the one name we never really saw in any of the wrecks up until the very end was your name. You were able to avoid most of the accidents up until the very end, had that lucky fast repair, was able to take that and avoid the carnage that was the battle for 3rd in front of you and get by that and end up in 3rd place. Tell me about your race.
Well, that's hilarious that, you didn't maybe see me too much, but I saw every single crash that happened. And I was a part of that last one. And, my game plan was just to stay in the back. I tried to do a qualifying lap, and I think I hit the wall, so it didn't record. Started in the back, and I was just taking it easy the entire race. And I was just hoping that I was going to get a little bit hectic. That's exactly what happened. It worked out for me. I was really hoping there was a crash with about, I think, 5 to go where 3rd and 4th took each other out. And I was really hoping for a yellow so I could at least have a shot. But you can't be mad at 3rd. I can't be mad at that. I mean, I was not in the picture the entire race. So for me, just the simple ride in the back and just hold on, it worked pretty well for me.
Absolutely. And, like you said, come on with a great finish. Won't hurt at all. But
I needed it.
Move on, exactly. As we move on to the season's finale next week at Lime Rock, a track I would assume you're more familiar with. These cars are more familiar with. So what do you expect for the season finale next week?
Well, I mean, obviously I have to go for, 3 top 3s in a row to finish off the season. I think, just making it through the season and, being in the top 4 or 3 in points, I'd be pretty happy with that. I'll be really curious to see where the points come out for this week. I should have stayed out early in the race. I would have got an extra point for leading a lap. But, you saw me go a lap down whenever I took 4 tires. I wasn't really thinking about that, but got a little bit lucky, had a good night. And, I'm really looking forward to Lime Rock. I'm a lot more familiar with that place. It's fast, it's tight, it's kind of technical. But I feel like it's going to be a track that suits me a lot better than Concord does.
Absolutely. Well, we hope to hear from you again next week. And congratulations on the 3rd place finish. And yeah.
Yeah. No, thank you guys so much.
Before we let you go, you have anybody you want to thank?
Oh yeah, got to thank everybody in the chat for sticking around and watching these races. We appreciate the support. The MX-5 on 5 series. Johnny, thank you. Evan, thank you. Everyone. Got to thank my girlfriend, of course. Got to thank my CPU for not overheating. It's been a good day. So, thanks so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think we all feel that one, man.
All right. Well, that was your 3rd place finisher, Derek Fike, and let's get into your 2nd place finisher is Scotty Savzek. Scotty is in the booth. Johnny, take it away.
Hey, so Scotty, you finally finished one of these things off, man. How does it feel? Just shy of a win, really. You were driving the hell out of that thing at the end there. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, it was slipping and sliding, and yeah, I guess if by finishing one off, getting into the finishing a race, I guess you're right. I mean, it's not been the best MX-5 season ever, but at the same time, it was a fun race. That was the oval stuff obviously is familiar, but the sports car is not. So it's pretty interesting. It was fun. I mean, it would get tight and then get loose, and there's a lot of options for trying to find speed and backing up the corner and running in traffic with something, and then trying to not let guys by you on the inside there was pretty difficult too. And it was just a pretty fun all around race. Honestly, we knew there was going to be some cautions, so I was saving that quick repair, but never had to use it. So I'll try to carry that one to next week or something. I don't know.
Yeah, let's see if we can make that work. But yeah, so one thing I was curious about, I'm very surprised that you guys were pitting as often under these cautions, getting tires. Were they really like wearing off that much, or was it just sort of why not? Let's try it out.
Yeah, not a whole lot of strategy really. I mean, it was the right front was the thing that's going to go quickest there, and I just figured with unlimited tire sets, in the off chance you get a long green run, that's going to be the advantage. And so you could kind of change one tire or two. And I think at one point I changed just the right sides, and earlier I changed four just to see what I could do. And on a short track with not a ton of cars out there, you're not losing a ton of track position. So it's kind of like, why not?
Yeah, that oh, I was wondering that for sure. But yeah, so I mean, great run tonight, and floor is yours to give out any shout outs or anybody you'd like to thank.
Yeah, thanks you guys for broadcasting, and I guess thanks for me for helping putting on the league, and but placeholder racing everybody, and hanging out with Aaron in the chat and letting him win. So congrats to him, and we'll try next week at Lime Rock.
Yep, sounds good.
Thanks.
All right, that was your second place finisher, and with the race win, his third of the season, Aaron Smith in the Banana Mobile. Aaron, you got a copy?
Yeah, I've got you.
Well, Aaron, started on the pole once again, led a lot of laps. Seems like this was, although it was the most calm in terms of not having as much of a side-by-side battle for the lead, there was some side-by-side battling, not as much as we've seen in the past with you and Justin or you and Brady, but I feel like this was the most intense arms, elbows out racing. No time for breathing here at a track like Concord. Is that how it felt behind the wheel for you?
Yeah, I mean, I knew there were a few guys in there who could put up a pretty good fight there. Scotty was quick, as he usually is, and I knew he was going to have something to say about that finish there at the end if I let him get too close there. We both got a pretty good restart, and we were able to race it out. And unfortunately, he had some pretty bad luck with some lappers over the course of the race, but I think that might have been the difference there. It was pretty difficult to make passes, so if you get behind someone like that who's that quick that often, it becomes difficult. But fortunately, it all worked out in my favor.
For sure. We saw lap cars be a little bit of a trouble for everybody, and we also saw a lot of cautions. So, in your mind, was it kind of with the amount of cautions and the restart and starting? Was it just kind of frustrating for you to kind of just be like, all right, can we just get in a rhythm and I can, kind of pull myself away from the field, versus kind of having to restart and having to fend off guys like Scotty or James when he was up there, or even Brady Powers when he was up there?
Not really. Like I was having a lot of fun trying to like play with different tire strategies. I took tires early on and then ran with them for a while and then took floor a little later on, and I think I stuck on that set for the rest of the race. But it was fun seeing the differences in the tire strategies there, and they didn't make much of a difference at the end. I think Scotty was on a different strategy with the later pit stop, but they once the tires evened out, it didn't make too much of a difference.
Well, it didn't make much of a difference in you crossing the line first and getting the checkered flag. As we shift forward to the season finale next week at Lime Rock, a a track these cars are meant to be on more than the oval like they were tonight. What do you expect to see there with this car in the finale?
Well, I enjoy Lime Rock, but I've never been too good at it. But we've seen how the rest of the season's gone so far, so hopefully I'll be able to replicate those results. But I don't think they're going to go down without a fight. I think the championship may be over, but the race for second is still in the balance, so it'll be fun to watch that.
Absolutely. Well, before we let you go, is there anybody you want to thank or give a shout out to?
As always, I'd like to thank the folks at the Slingshot Racing League for putting this show on, y'all for broadcasting, as well as Hank Thomas Performance, Apex Energy, Sim Racing Concepts, Evan Pienta Designs, UD Awards, Butt Kicker, and the Stage Break Podcast for supporting the league. Looking forward to getting back at it one more time next week.
Sounds good. We'll see you next week, Aaron.
Alrighty, thank you.
All right. Well, that was your top 3 finishers, Johnny. We didn't really know what to expect here, as always. It being an oval, it being a unique oval. I think overall, I think it was a great race. You know, a little bit of different change in pace of what we've seen in the last 3 weeks, but overall, it was still a great race. And I think overall this season has gone out really well, and can't wait to see how it caps off next week at Lime Rock.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, it's been an experimental type of season, right? This is something that you don't normally see, and I think so far we've had 4 shows, and all 4 of them have been pretty good shows. And shout out to all the drivers and everybody that's been putting time into this, and you, and yeah, I think it's going to be an exciting finale, and I can't wait.
Absolutely. Give a shout out to yourself too, Johnny. You've been great behind the all the controls and what you see on screen. So,
I don't know if I'd say great, but hey,
well,
yeah.
let's move into our race results. We mentioned our top 3. Obviously, Aaron Smith gets the win, and his placeholder racing teammate Scotty Sobzak finishes second. Derek Fike, for the second week in a row, finishes in third on the podium. Brady Powers finishes fourth, with James Danforth behind him in fifth. Those two were battling for the final podium spot before they got together in the final corner and allowed Derek to get by. And rounding out your top 6, Gabe Rogers in the 111 was able to avoid most of the carnage, although being a lap down, 2 laps down, excuse me. I think he just had some miscalculations with pit strategy, taking too many tires and getting trapped behind the pace truck. But overall, a good run for him in the 6th place position.
Absolutely. And yeah, then we get into some of the guys that maybe had some troubles tonight, right? And it's no fault of their own. It's definitely a very difficult car to drive here, very loose, and also just some unfortunate circumstances, right? But we have Paul Thomas coming home in 7th, Dale Nixon 8th, Matt Kuntz 9th, Steve Vest 10th, right? And are you 11th? No. Oh, yeah.
That's Nick DeCesare.
Nick DeCesare rounded out the field here with Evan Pienta having his ghost car come home in 12th, right? But
the car just sat in the hall the whole time, had other obligations like broadcasting the race. So, well, overall, I think it was a great race. Mentioned it already. Excited next week for Lime Rock. Overall, what do you expect to see just from Lime Rock?
Man, I think it's probably going to be one of the more tame races we've had, just because I mean, the car is kind of made to drive there, right? Like, and it's road course, but it's a short one, so fairly easy to learn for some of the guys who maybe haven't ran it before. And yeah, I mean, I think it'll be a good show. Maybe not as chaotic, but yeah.
Absolutely. 35 laps of racing action will be there next week at Lime Rock. But I think that does it for us here tonight from Concord Speedway. This is the Slingshot Racing League TV booth with Johnny Rapp and Evan Pienta signing out from the MX-5 on 5 series.